The dazzling lights, the pulsing music, the confident strides down the catwalk. That's the fashion world you see. But there's another world, one that exists in parallel, hidden behind the luxurious velvet curtain. Today, I'll take you on a journey behind the most glamorous fashion shows on earth, where power, art and commerce intersect, where a few minutes on the runway are created from months of preparation. I'm the Fashion Talk, and this is the silent spectacle, the untold story behind fashion shows.
Fashion Talk was created to help you understand fashion to dress better. We are not just talking about fashion here, we help you live a great life. Subscribe us to get great videos every day and give us a like if you like this video.
Part 1. The Hidden History. In 1858, a man named Charles Frederick Worth did something unprecedented. He hired young, beautiful women to wear his designs and parade through the salons of Paris high society. Before that, designers were simply tailors. But here's a little-known fact. Worth wasn't the first to conceive this idea. A woman named Marie Vanette, his wife and first model, was actually the one who proposed this bold concept. In 19th century society, women rarely received credit for their innovations. As fashion shows evolved through the 20th century, they became cultural phenomena. Yet interestingly, the basic structure, a straight catwalk with models walking rhythmically, remained virtually unchanged for over a century, until 1984, when Japanese designer Yohji Yamamoto made a bold decision. He rejected the traditional catwalk and had models wandering around, even standing still. He broke the rules, and fashion was never the same again. That was the moment fashion shifted from presentations to artistic shows, a revolutionary change. Part 2. The 5 secret phases. A fashion show lasts an average of 12 minutes, but the preparation for those 12 minutes typically begins 6 months earlier, going through 5 phases that the public rarely gets to see. Phase 1. The vision. Contrary to popular belief, a fashion collection doesn't start with sketches, but with a mood board. I once spoke with a designer from Dior, who revealed that their creative director spent 3 months researching over 200 historical photographs and artwork before drawing a single line. Phase 2. The experimentation. This is the most chaotic and creative phase. There's a term in the industry called toile. These are test samples made in inexpensive cotton. A single design on the runway may have gone through 25 to 30 different tool versions before being approved. Phase 3. The logistics battle. It's a complex mathematical equation. Each model must have time to change between appearances, usually anywhere from 90 seconds to 3 minutes. An average show with 40 outfits requires a detailed change chart that resembles military strategy. Phase 4. The rehearsal. 24 hours before the official show is the most tense moment. Everything is rehearsed, every movement, every step. But there's a strange tradition in haute couture. Never complete the rehearsal. It's considered bad luck. Phase 5. The moment of truth. Most think the most stressful moment is when the show begins, when all designs must be finalized, models ready, and guests beginning to arrive. Wrong. It's the 30 minutes before the show starts, the time the industry calls the golden minute. Part 3. Power and the front row. The front row at a fashion show isn't just a seating arrangement. It's a visual representation of a power hierarchy. A senior executive from Vogue, who requested anonymity, revealed to me a secret classification system called the ACE system, a system used by most major brands for seating arrangements. A. The absolutely important group editors-in-chief, A-list celebrities, major investors. C. The crucial group senior editors, chief buyers from major stores, B-list celebrities. E. The expendable group bloggers, influencers, and regular press. Where you're seated speaks volumes about your status. Few know that some celebrities have actually refused to attend shows when they learned they weren't placed in the front row. A notable case: At Paris Fashion Week 2016, a prominent editor was downgraded from front row to second row. 2 weeks later, her magazine ran a negative review of that collection. Coincidence? Probably not. In fact, a front row seat at the Big Four fashion weeks, New York, London, Milan, Paris, can be valued at up to $100,000 in PR value, though it's never directly sold. Part 4. Modern-day sweatshops. The most hidden story of fashion isn't about designers or models, but about the craftspeople, those who create the garments. Petit mains, small hands, is the term used for the high-end seamstresses working in the ateliers of major fashion houses like Chanel, Dior, and Valentino. They represent the highest level of craftsmanship, yet we rarely know their names. I had the opportunity to interview a petit main who worked for a luxury fashion house for 42 years. She revealed that an average haute couture dress can take anywhere from 150 to 800 hours to complete. Work done entirely by hand, but the darker side of the story lies in the lower segments. While high fashion is created in luxurious ateliers, fast fashion relies on a global system of factories, many with concerning working conditions. In 2013, the Rana Plaza factory collapse in Bangladesh claimed the lives of 1,134 garment workers. It was one of the worst industrial accidents in history. But here's a little-known statistic. Of the 29 brands identified as producing at Rana Plaza, only 14 contributed to the compensation fund for victims. Fortunately, change is happening. Designers like Stella McCartney and Gabriella Hearst have used their fashion shows not just to display clothes, but to raise awareness about the sustainable and ethical origins of garments. Part 5. The future of fashion shows. The COVID-19 pandemic forced the fashion industry to rethink shows. The result? An unprecedented wave of innovation. In 2020, Balenciaga did something unprecedented. Instead of a traditional show, they released a video game called Afterworld, The Age of Tomorrow. To introduce their collection, players could explore a future world in 2031, where characters wore the latest designs. Meanwhile, Coperni created a viral moment when they spray-painted a dress directly onto model Bella Hadid's body on the runway, combining fashion, science, and performance art. However, there's an interesting trend. While technology is advancing, many designers are returning to a more intimate feel. Marc Jacobs once held a show at the New York Public Library with only 30 guests, a complete contrast to the hundreds who attended previous shows. Analysts predict the future of fashion shows will divide into two schools: hyper-production with spectacular shows like Broadway plays, and minimalism with small, private presentations focusing on quality rather than quantity. Many designers are also abandoning the traditional fashion calendar. Gucci, under Alessandro Michele, declared they would abandon the seasonal spring-summer, fall-winter schedule in favor of seasonless collections, a revolutionary move. As we gaze at those glamorous catwalks, it's important to remember that each fashion show is the tip of a much larger iceberg, a complex ecosystem of creativity, commerce, power, and craftsmanship. Fashion shows aren't just about clothes. They're cultural statements, historical markers, reflections of our time. Coco Chanel once said, "Fashion is not something that exists in dresses only. Fashion is in the sky, in the street. Fashion has to do with ideas, the way we live, what is happening." Next time you watch a fashion show, look beyond the surface. Ask yourself, what story is being told? Whose hands created these garments? What message is being conveyed? Because, as in life, in fashion, the most interesting things are often hidden beneath the surface. I'm the Fashion Talk. Thank you for watching. And remember to subscribe to our channel to discover more fascinating stories behind the world of fashion. See you in the next video.